Right, we've got David on the line now. Good morning to you, David.
Good morning.
And you've been suffering in silence as well. You've been had mental health issues for the last 10 years.
Yes, that's right. It's just been really difficult, and I've just felt so lonely and low. A big part of it is just being petrified of dying. So when I wake up, it's, you know, what's the point in all this? But the problem is when I've reached out to someone like my doctor, recently the answer's been the NHS is under a bit of strain and it doesn't look like you're in any immediate danger. So there's not much that we can do other than offer you medication.
How old are you, David?
I'm 25. So it's just been really difficult, and the advice from the doctor just appears to be, here's some medication, and you know, let's try and review this in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
So
well,
I just want to kind of find out.
You say that. I mean,
you need a support group, don't you?
Well, ideally.
Yes,
Ideally, you could ask. You could go to see a different GP to the one you usually see. Maybe you get a different response, but you can ask to be referred to the IAPT service, which is the Very Early Assessment and Treatment Service. So it is for people who are not at risk, supposedly, and it's for people who would benefit from maybe 15 or 16 sessions of CBT rather than years' worth of treatment. And it's a very specific service for people who are experiencing difficulties just like you. So if you can go and say, I'd like to be referred to the IAPT service, please, the local IAPT, I-A-P-T service, that's a really good place to start, and they should be able to take you and offer something pretty speedily.
You say you're lonely. I'm so lonely, you said.
Yeah, I've got a very wonderful, supportive partner. I find it very difficult to make friendships, but I've got a partner, but because I don't want to appear weak, I don't tell my partner how I'm kind of feeling. It's difficult to kind of just open up and say, you know what, I do feel low, and I do feel like crying on a daily basis. And sometimes I can just sit for hours doing nothing just because I see everything as pointless. But recently, it's just been the low moods.
It's not pointless, and more important than that, you are not weak. It is not a sign of weakness. We've already discussed. You saw the first interview that we did this morning with the guys who were discussing this. It's not weakness, and there is this sort of black corner in a lot of people's heads. And so you should certainly talk to your partner. We've got a counsellor who I know that wants to have a word with you. Certainly, and everyone who's called us, we haven't got round to today. But you should open up. You should talk about it. If you're a partner worth having, then you've got to share the good and the bad.
Absolutely, and actually, it takes a lot of strength to talk to someone. It takes a lot of strength. So if you manage to talk to your partner, that is a really strong step. And there are loads of other support groups out there, like we've been saying, like, as I say, SANE, your local SANE or your local Mind. They can put you in touch with people who are going through the same thing. And your partner, I am sure, would want to be there, would want to know. And would want to help.
Thank you, David. Yeah, please don't hang up. We'd like to call you back or certainly talk to you.